Looking in here, you can see that the alignment is just a little bit off. So what I have to do is move it round one tooth. And if we come up here, you can see that I have painted the cog and the groove that it resides in. What I need to do is turn it clockwise one tooth, and that, if I'm right, will make it line up correctly. In order to do that, what I've done here is I've pulled this cog off, and I will pull this one off and then line it up. As you can see, there it goes. I've okay, I've hit the woodruff key underneath. Let me see, I think they're in the same position. Now they are, but this one's stuck up, so I'm going to remove that woodruff key and then I'll be able to do this. So give me a second, let me remove that key. Rather than remove that woodruff key, I just tapped a little bit to make that end go down more, so hopefully now that comes off there beautifully, and I engage the tooth now here. Now, as you can see, I've moved it over one clockwise tooth. So now I need to turn the engine over and see if it is in the correct position. 1 second. If you look down there, you will see the smaller half is at the bottom, and that is just to the left of the hole, this hole here. It's just to the left of it. And if we go to the workshop manual, that's how it shows it. The smaller half here, and the slot is just to the left of that hole. So that means I should be spot on. Now, apart from making sure that was spot on, my piston here, number 6 and number 1 is at top dead center, and it had to be number 1 that's at top dead center, but you can measure it on number 6 because they're the same. All right, that is very pleasing, and now all I need to do is tighten everything up, push this back on here. Actually, I'm going to give that a bit of a clean before I put that back on there. All right, let's continue to assemble this. Well, moving on now, I've rotated the engine a few times just to make sure, and I'm still spot on with my distributor timing gear. Next thing to do will be, well, I've already done it, but that was double check all of these tabs, make sure they're all bent over and they're out the way, and then they're going to be useful. Then this little beastie here goes on there for the oil pump, and the next thing is to install the oil pump. All right, let me get the pump. I'm going to prime it up first. I'm going to put some assembly lube in it. Gosh, brain cell work. I'm going to put some assembly lube in it so that when it does first start or gets turned over, that pump isn't dry, because that will just, that'll start some wear on it, which I'd really rather it didn't have. It's a brand new pump. All right, let me get that pump and we'll get that installed. Right, next item is to refit the oil pipes back into the pump. I've put the pump on. I'm not going to show you how I did that. That's pretty obvious. Pump, 3 bolts, doink. I do need to bend these tabs over, so let's just give them a bit of help with a pair of pliers. It just gets them going in the right direction. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take my glasses off here. The pipe's in the way. And these ones are always a little more tricky. But why? But why? Because you can't get a good swing at it. So sometimes what you can do is just pull them up. Okay, let's see if I can get that one. That one bent a little earlier than I would hope for, but it'll hold it. And okay, and these ones. There they go. Let me move around this side. Oh, I'm going to have to pull that one up. There we go. Come on. There's the trouble getting caught there. I want to get some good leverage. Oh, what? You don't know what leverage is? No, that's called leverage over here. You gotta talk American. There I go again, amusing myself. Got a bit of a bend on it now. There we go. Okay, that puppy is going nowhere. Those bolts are tight, they're nicely peened over. Nothing like a good peening. Now let me get this pipe on. As I mentioned before, I've already filled up, well not filled up, but put a big wadge of assembly lube inside the pump, so when it starts it's not dry. And then I turned it over many times. Okay, now let's see if we can get this in here without, tell you what, let me put some on the rubber ring that's in there, rather than just rely on the pipe. Well, this could be a little tricky. Oh, there she goes, look at that. Right, now we've got these, whoops, nice little brackets here. And we have, do you have some nuts and the bolts for putting in the holes? Because this is where nuts and bolts like to go. They like to go in the hole. Here's the button dude. I went from German to Dutch there. Okay. I can't help it. I'm weird. What do you want? You ain't getting your money back. Too bad. Ha ha. Oh dear. Okay, get that nut in there, or even that bolt. Get the nut on. And do note that the washer goes on the bracket side. It probably doesn't make a hell of a lot of difference, but that's how it was. Now that's interesting. That's that offset. Although the bracket seems to indicate I might have to bend that. Alright, let me get my other one in here. Grab my trusty nut. I may have to bend these brackets. They may not be bent to quite the right angle here because I'm feeling a little strain. I always feel a little strange, but this is a little strain. Yeah, well, actually, come to think of it, it's not too bad. There's a little bit of tension there, but nothing I don't think that is too serious. Right, next job is to tighten those puppies up and then put the pipe on the other side. Let me get my wrenches, tighten those up, and I'm sure you know how to tighten things. So then I'll move on to the other side. Okay, again, using copious amounts of assembly lube. We now need to get this pipe in here. Ooh, baby, that went in nice and easy. Now, what we do have here is gasket. Now, I'm going to put gasket goo on, oil resistant gasket goo, although it may not be necessary in, reality. I'm going to be happier with it being on there. Obviously I'm using an oil resistant goo. Place over the hole. Should have worn 2 gloves, shouldn't I? What a silly prick. Alright. Wiping on shirt as one always does. And I'll tell you what, I do use this ultra black on a lot of things. Look like a golfer, don't I? One glove, or was that a gopher? Probably a gopher. If you see the way I play golf, just ask my friend Bob. He tells me, "Ooh, I did a 76." Yeah, well, so what? I could do that on the first hole. Silly ass. He thinks that's good. All right. Get that back in the hole again. Ooh, this one's tricky. Alright, there we go. Now I'll stick it in the hole, as she says. Stick it in the hole and wiggle it about a bit. Oh, make sure you don't get your brackets caught. Like I just did. There you go. Alright, now get that bolt in the hole. I've already cleaned the threads on these, so the bolts will go in nice and easy, won't they? Yes, there it goes. One bolt in the hole. Get this one in there. Look at that. Must admit, I'm surprised these don't have some kind of spring washer on them, but they don't. So we'll make sure we get those nice and tight. As the Germans would say, good and tight. Okay. Now they are a magical 1/2 inch. I'm beginning to wonder whether they should have had lock tabs. God damn it, Muskie. I bet they did. Give me a second. And as if by magic, look, lock tabs. I don't know what you people are talking about. They were there already. I don't know, you guys weren't paying attention. Alright, there's this last nutus boltus to go on here. And in case you are wondering, they are 7/16. So 7/16 there, and the 1/2 inch there. So there's the 7/16. Let's tighten up my nuts. I do like to have my nuts nice and tight. Okay. Right, get on there. Okay, they are self-locking nuts there. Right, next thing to do is to bend these tabs over, and then I believe we need to put the timing gear on. Because of the way everything fits together, you need to put the timing gear on first, then you can put the timing cover on, then you can put the oil pan on. We will see how it goes to see how correct I am, but I believe that's the way it has to go. Next, timing gear.